Trinity and Lucifer. Ch1 First Series. Written by D.G. Lampalus. Mundus Vetus. Chapter 1. Born.
In the beginning of the universe, everything was still and dark. Colors slowly emerged as the universe went from nothing to something. This stage was known as the infinite void, where there was no matter, space, or time. The infinite void was the origin of the universe, a state of boundlessness and formlessness. But one day, a small change occurred, and it had a tremendous impact on the entire universe. It was almost as if it had been planned and destined. A tiny beam of light suddenly appeared in the midst of the infinite void, giving birth to the first and only life in the universe. This life was small and weak, but it was the only light and life in the empty and dark universe. This was the Infinity Soul, the first and beginning of all life and souls in the universe. The Infinity Soul grew dynamically and expanded at an infinite speed, creating the flow of time and the dimensions of space in the one static universe. The universe went from nothing to something, from stillness to movement, and from death to life. As the Infinity Soul grew, it was like a fetus in its mother's womb. After a period of nurturing, it finally grew its first eye. The Eye of Infinite was golden, bright, and pure, shining like a star in the universe. The Eye of Infinite was the first life in the universe to start exploring the cosmos through its eyes. It learned about everything by observing and experiencing. Unlike our human eyes, the Eye of Infinite wasn't limited to seeing low-dimensional matter. It could see the value and meaning behind everything. It could also see multidimensional space and time, as well as all the possible outcomes of everything in the universe at once. After an unknown period of time, the infinite expansion and growth of the Eye of Infinite created a complete soul and body. Another pair of crystal-clear eyes grew along with its body, one blue and one green. The green eye was called oneness, while the blue eye was called zero. Oneness and zero represented creation and destruction, life and death, and beginning and end. They were both one and the same, yet opposites. As the three windows to the soul awakened and became aware, the Eye of Infinite began to understand itself on a deeper level. It was a life with three personalities, one essence, and three in one. The Eye of Infinite was grateful for the nurturing of the universe's mother. And at that moment, the universe's mother also realized that everything had started to change in the present moment, from the smallest to the largest. As the life grew and its body became stronger, it also started to have independent thoughts. During this growth process, it realized that it was the only one in the universe, the infinite free will of everything, the core of all power, and the creative force of all life. It was both amazed by its abilities and existence, but also lonely. It had infinite power to create anything it wanted, but no one to share its abilities and glory with. This power gave it endless confidence, which began to expand infinitely within its heart. Its loneliness, pride, fear, and arrogance twisted into a knot, and this endless conflict began to make it lose balance. Its pride and inner loneliness clashed, as it had power but lacked sharing, and had authority but feared losing it. This conflict continued to expand infinitely, and it was becoming hard to breathe. It kept questioning, challenging, and reflecting on itself in a painful inner turmoil. Who am I? Why am I here? What's the point of my existence? Where am I headed next? These mind-boggling questions kept circling in its mind, and its struggle had grown to a point where the universe could no longer contain it. Suddenly, there was a loud boom, and the entire universe underwent a massive explosion. After the explosion, this three-in-one life form, which was previously expanding infinitely, began to contract at an infinite speed, rapidly returning to its starting point. It shrank into the initial singularity of the universe, a state that was smaller than dust and the tiniest speck of light. It condensed into the first black hole in the universe, and life was sucked into the abyss. In the darkness, it began to understand some truths. It was no longer restless, no longer conflicted, and slowly began to grasp its own worth. During its slumber, life had a long and winding dream. It was trapped in the abyss of a black hole, where it couldn't see a thing. It was pitch black, silent, and it felt as if it had reverted to the state of nothingness. It had the opportunity to start life anew, but this time, it had to truly fathom the value of its existence in the abyss's darkness. Only then could it awaken from this heavy and prolonged slumber. After enduring the struggle and pain of its first growth, this life form became stronger and wiser. It understood that to escape the abyss, it had to remain lucid and calm. It unleashed the potential of the Eye of Infinite. It gradually mastered the laws of balance in the universe, light and darkness, life and death, motion and stillness, floating and sinking, joy and sorrow, big and small, and their relative cycles. Everything in the universe had two complementary and opposing aspects. From the Eye of Infinite, it perceived all of the possibilities in the universe. From the instant of creation to destruction, the intervening process contained infinite diversity. There was creation after destruction, growth after experience, appreciation after loss, and happiness after pain. In this process, it realized its value, identity, and role. Ultimately, it was the chosen life form to be born, and its appearance was not by chance, but by necessity. It learned and grew in the darkness, from fear to gratitude, from resistance to acceptance. Its life originated from light, so it had to recognize itself in the darkness. During this journey through the abyss, life awakened and realized its name was Trinity, signifying the three-in-one God who created everything. Trinity gradually emerged from its slumber, understanding that it was about to leave the universe's mother's embrace and construct its own universe. This time, it awakened from its slumber, returning from the darkness of the abyss. It had undergone a transformation, seen through and comprehended the mysteries of the universe, understood the value of its existence, and comprehended the connection between its true self and nature.
Hope you enjoy the wonders and fantasies of the stories in the universe. Which part of the story is your favorite? Leave a comment below the video and let me know. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up and turn on the notification bell if you enjoy our videos. In our next chapter, we will continue to explore the universe. See you soon.